Hello and welcome to another hangar review. This time we will look at this Expert League 3 hangar that one of my subscribers submitted. A bit of background information: his favorite game modes are Beacon Rush and FFA. At the moment he's building Havocs for his Ravana, and he also had a couple of additional questions that I will address in the end of this video. So let's have a look at the builds. The Revenant with Ember Blaze is one of the best builds for the Revenant. Very high DPS at point blank, which is usually how the Revenant is used. For FFA, it has another advantage, which is DOT damage, so sometimes you even manage to steal a kill because of that. You have the strongest pilot for the Revenant and a nuclear amplifier together with some additional HP and a healing module. So there's not a lot that is wrong with that. I would say once you're in Master League, you can think about how to optimize this further. The Shell with Banes and Toxins, this is a build that I also run in High Level Champion League. Top players are a bit torn apart between the best Shell pilot, but Drew certainly is one of the best. You run it with a shield module, an armor kit and a healing module. Similar to the Revenant, I would work further on this once you're in Master League. If you like the playstyle of the Shell, nothing will prevent you to use it further. The Ravana with Scourges, this was a build that I also ran originally before switching to the Havocs. And this is your plan as well, which is something like the natural evolution of the Ravana towards its strongest setup. You run it also with armor kits and with lockdown ammo, and you also have the right pilot for it. Also nothing wrong here. The Siren definitely needs to grow a little bit from NK1-3. You run it with Shredders and Punchers. This is a very powerful build and also streamlined, and Yang Li is the strongest pilot for it. So for this build, I would say you will go through a learning curve because at lower levels the Siren is very vulnerable and can be shot from the sky despite its reflector shield. The Punches and the Shredders spread quite a lot at higher distances, so especially for FFA, you will need to get a feeling on when you can ascend and get a kill. Otherwise, you will be stuck in reload and forced to teleport back where you came from. But with the right modules and at higher level, it's a beast. The Orochi you run with a brawler setup with Banes, Madame Brigitte and an overdrive unit. Also this setup is more for FFA than for Beacon Rush, but can be developed into a quite universal build if you add some layers of protection and survivability by drones and modules. So this can become a very effective build. Finally, your Smay Muromets. Vengeance Krite is a great setup. You also have them on a reasonable level, and you also have a cannibal reactor, so this can become a quite powerful build. I would leave the Vengeance weapons at level 20 for now and just concentrate on maxing out the Krite for now. The strongest build for the Muramets at the moment is with Dazzler Lantern. You may get these at one point. Overall, for Expert League 3, this is a very well developed hangar and you should not have any issues to advance with it into higher leagues. You had the plan to bring all your robots to level 7 and your weapons to level 9. Also, this is a good plan. But just consider that you may get better weapons and gear in the future, so it does not necessarily make sense to give the same amount of attention to all your robots. But you may consider to build one strong bot that you really like, that you use in every battle and that you're skilled in, and bring it to, let's say, level MK112. This will take a while, but by the time that you're finished, the game has advanced. So by then you may think differently about the builds that you don't love so much, just as an idea to consider. Apart from this, what could be really good ideas to focus on? Try to get a couple of premium modules. Remember, this can be transferred from one build to another, and continue with your plan to bring your Siren to level 7. This hangar can work for both FFA and Beacon Rush, although I would see it more as an FFA hangar, simply because it has more kill steal potential than Beacon tanks. You had two more questions in your email. The first one was, if you get your hands on an Airbus, you plan to make a brawler out of it with 3 Banes, and you ask, should you replace one of your bots with it? The answer is no. Let me try to convince you that this is not a good idea. The Airbus is not a good brawler. The reason is that it is a glass cannon, but for brawling you need something with immense amounts of health and resistance. The asset of the Airbus is its Aegis shield, but it is useless at point blank range, so it will get eaten alive by anything at close distance that has lots of DPS. Revenants, Fenriers or even Scorpions. If you like brawling with Banes, there are better choices these days. For example, the Behemoth with its legendary pilot. This can become a monster with the right gear. or the Fenrir if you add venoms or flames to it, but I really don't recommend the Airbus. The Airbus is a sniper, and in my opinion it only works with long-range weapons if you have a good strategy to avoid orbital strikes. Your second question was about the Capri. You were planning to use it with 4 quackers that you already have and ask which robot you should replace it with in case you should manage to get your hands on one. The Capri with quackers can work, but there are better builds these days. The main asset of the quackers is that they have okay-ish DPS from 500 meters. However, they are not as effective as brawling weapons as for example sonics, acids or flames. From 500 meters the best build is with Cramolas, but also Magnetars or Skulls can work really well. So I would just use it with 4 quackers if you don't have anything else. And then I would only upgrade 2 of the quackers and start running the Capri as a hybrid as soon as you have something else available. For example, shredders or toxins that you already run on your other builds. Which robot could you replace with a Capri? Well, the Capri is probably the best robot in the game right now because it's so versatile. It is tanky, provides high DPS, it's fast and can heal up yourself and your allies. One good option could be that you use it as a quacker toxin hybrid build that replaces your shell. If you like the shell, you could also run it as a shredder quacker hybrid and replace the siren. And you can also try out if you like the Orochi with punches better in that case, but it's up to you of course. So that concludes my hangar review of this Expert League 3 hangar. In case you want your own hangar to be reviewed, you find instructions on how to do so in this video's description. I've decided to keep this format a bit more flexible, so I won't offer review seasons in the future, but just review hangars when I stumble across an interesting application. Thanks for listening in and see you on my channel.